Okay, that's enough.
Hey, what's up, Simp Squad, and welcome back to another episode of SimplyPodLogical, a simply nailogical podcast.
Featuring Menchie.
Can you feel it? Can you feel the love?
The love in the air.
The love is in the air.
Jesus
It's Valentine's Day. We're recording this on Valentine's Day. When people are hearing this, it's not Valentine's Day
It's
anymore.
Valentine's week.
But this is the loved-themed episode of SimplyPodLogical.
The only episode that will be of that theme.
We get questions about like relationships and couple stuff a lot.
Wonder why. Because we're a couple, right?
Yeah.
Why else would people ask that?
I mean, Menchie's my Valentine. But,
I know, look at her. She's such a sweetie. She does have a heart on her collar.
Anyway, today we're going to play the non-newlywed game, I guess is what we're calling it. Maybe it's trademark, copyright. We're not married, so
The
it's
old
not
common law game.
the common law game.
But old, because it's been a while.
We'll at least be looking at questions like that. But first, we got a lot of comments and suggestions about the love language quizzes. What are our love languages? I don't know. This is not something I was really familiar with before. We saw a bunch of people suggesting it. But we thought, rather than doing that quiz on the podcast, we did the quiz beforehand. And we'll go through our results and talk a little bit about our love languages. Sorry, there's a cat licking my ears, so I'm a little distracted right now.
There's a cat literally in your ear. She wants to get it. She wants to get that dirty earwax.
All right, so people could play along at home. The quiz is called what, Cristine? Do you remember? I think it's the
5 love languages.
5 love languages. I think it's about 30 questions. We did the one for couples.
I wanted to do the one for children.
Could be more appropriate.
I think
for
I'm
you.
going to do that after. I'm just kind of curious, like what the questions are.
What
do you
is
play
a-
with blocks or Barbies?
A love language test for children.
I don't know.
I guess it's, like familial love, not romantic.
Well, I hope not. That's what I'm saying. Like, what's in there?
Okay, so anyway, we did the 5 love language tests. Basically, it's a series of questions that are like, what is meaningful for you? Receiving gifts or spending time with someone, physical touch. And at the end, it gives you your results broken down into like your percentage breakdown into the 5 categories of expressions of love or affection. So here's a few examples of the questions. It's more meaningful to me when A, I can spend alone time with my partner, just the two of us, or B, my partner does something practical to help me out.
The latter sounds very
Does the latter
useful.
sound nice for you very practical-minded people out there? So that's a good example of a basic one. Another one, it's more meaningful to me when my partner gives me a gift versus I hear I love you from my partner.
And there were so many about partners giving gifts that I thought I'm like, this is clearly a trap. No one is going to answer, yes, buy me gifts in every answer.
I mean, gift giving is an important aspect to some people's relationships, I guess. Neither of us value that. So we noticed the questions about that. There were a lot of them, right? Like it's more meaningful to me when my partner works on special projects with me that I have to complete versus my partner gives me an exciting gift. And it's more meaningful if I can look forward to a holiday because of a gift I anticipate receiving, or I hear the words, I appreciate you from my partner, DJ Khaled.
Do you look forward to a holiday because of a gift you might receive?
I'm not even sure I understand that question.
Is the holiday the gift?
Or are they saying you're going to get a gift on the holiday you're looking forward to?
That seems like you're asking for a lot.
Yeah.
Like you're asking for a holiday and
the holiday's
a gift.
not good
like,
enough.
Spending time with your partner isn't enough for you.
All right, last example. What's more meaningful? My partner doesn't interrupt me while I'm talking.
Stop, Ben. Stop interrupting me.
Or gift giving is an important part of our relationship.
There were so many like this, and I look at that and I'm like, why would anyone answer yes to that?
The gift giving one? But
Yeah.
okay, I'm curious to see your results. We have them here. Okay, let's look at mine first and see where we differ. People playing along at home, there's only like 30 of these questions. You could probably bang it out in like 2 minutes if you just want to.
No pun intended. Happy Valentine's
All right,
Day.
so here are my results. My primary love language is quality time.
Aww.
We should be clear. So there's 5 categories. Receiving gifts, acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation, and physical touch.
So you score a percentage of how much you relate to a particular love language, and you scored highest in quality time.
Yeah, so I scored 40% on quality time, which is overwhelmingly the highest for
The
me.
majority.
The next for me is physical touch, actually, at 27%.
Menchie knows.
Which I should be clear, it's a lot of questions that are more just like, you'll hold hands with your partner, or like,
Yeah.
it's nice to have a hug at the end of the day. Next for me were words of affirmation at 17%, acts of service at 13%, and I scored only 3% for gift giving.
Which is good news.
You're off the hook.
Because your birthday is coming up, and I'm terrible at gift giving.
Well, it will be very important to me that we spend quality time on my birthday.
I can do that.
But you don't just have to buy me anything.
Well, that's great because we're not leaving the house.
Well, do you have time? You're someone who's this is maybe the biggest challenge in our relationship is you have so much going on. Sometimes it feels like we don't spend enough quality time together. So I've just had to insert myself into your online universe just so I can spend time with you.
Is that what this is? You don't think this is quality time, Ben?
Oh, Jesus.
What do you think you're doing? What are we doing right now?
I enjoy doing this, actually. Okay.
So what's the definition? They have a description underneath of quality time.
I mean, it's pretty superficial. It's just saying nothing says I love you like full undivided attention. Being there for this type of person is critical, but really being there with the TV off, fork and knife down, and all the chores and tasks on standby. I'm not sure if I even agree with that aspect of it. Like, a lot of the quality time we spend together is actually doing stuff.
But wait, does this mean that you value when I put the TV off and the fork knife down, or that you are the person, like being there with undivided attention?
I value the
direction?
time where we're spending time together without distractions, I think is the
But are you the
implication.
one making the actions to engage in quality time?
What?
Or do you just like to receive the quality time actions from the other?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
it's a one-way thing. I
Well,
just want to
no.
receive the quality time.
Okay.
Well, it takes two to tango with quality time.
I suppose.
But like to me, quality time can be just like Netflix and chilling,
Or like building a desk.
or just eating dinner together. Like you can keep the fork and knife up while you eat dinner.
We're on our phones at dinner sometimes. There was a question
Yeah.
like that about like, do you like when your partner's on their phone or not?
Yeah, I don't really mind that. But at the same time, I think it is important to have some time where you're literally engaging with each other without distractions too.
Yeah, like right now.
Yeah. With 4 cameras on. Okay, do you want to look at your results, Christine?
Oh boy.
Okay, so I was quality time. Christine is acts of service.
Big surprise.
What a shock.
And you know why you're the best at meeting the requirements of my love language?
Why?
At satisfying me? Because you bring the tea.
That's what it all
bring
comes
so
down
much
to.
tea. It's the best act of service I could ever wish for.
Well, clearly I recognize this is how you recognize love and affection, right? So Christine has 33% acts of service. Just a little bit ahead of quality time. You scored
See?
30% on quality
Okay,
time
so like
too.
I'm not a cold ice queen completely. I had
Well, you scored
33%.
10% on physical touch.
Yeah, that's the same as receiving gifts.
10% receiving gifts, 17% words of affirmation.
Yeah, I would say like acts of service and quality time is a good combination because you have the practical aspect of like we're going to be productive and like good and healthy in our relationship, but then also we love and really do enjoy spending time together. So you got quality time. And I think
very
those
sweet.
two are personally important to me.
Yeah. So what does it say? Can vacuuming the floors really be an expression of love? Absolutely. That sounds so
I love when
sad.
you vacuum.
That's not what it means. Like,
I know.
no, but seriously though, that's such a strange example.
Yeah, that's not a
'Cause
good example.
Acts of service was like, what were some of the questions that were?
It wasn't like I love when my significant other vacuums the floor. It was like I love when my significant other helps me with something that I need to get done and like they're paying attention to the hobby that I
Yeah.
like. Like that's what it was.
which is a lot of our relationship.
yeah.
Isn't it?
What else does it say? The words he or she most want to hear. Let me do that for you. Well, that just makes me sound like some bossy bitch. Oh God.
No, I think this was pretty accurate. Again, these aren't the types of tests where like you look at the two results and like they don't determine compatibility. But
So it's not like a horoscope?
Let's not get into that. But in a way, it is important to know what your partner values as an expression of affection.
So if
and
I really
gratitude.
want to make you feel appreciated, I just got to spend time with you? That's it?
Yeah, and it's not like
Damn.
we have to have like it helps if we both value the same things. But all that really matters is that your partner recognizes you putting in the effort to meet their needs.
You definitely always put in the effort for acts of
Thanks.
service.
You do too.
Ben
you're a
is
good
always
partner.
doing things for me. I mean, I think this is no secret, but he is the biggest help in so much of my life, like YouTube, the behind the
Please,
scenes
don't get so
that
cheesy
you guys
now.
don't see. He helps manage this whole podcast. It's mostly him. It's like 80% you. I just show up, really. And my Simply videos, he's always there helping me film, helping me figure it out.
I'm getting really uncomfortable.
He
right
helps
now.
me even figure out like what I'm going to do for a video, because sometimes my brain is just so full and I need help like thinking it through. And he helps test Holo Taco products. Show us your nails, Ben.
There you go.
There you go.
Sorry, I didn't score high for words of affirmation. I actually get really uncomfortable with compliments.
Oh, sorry. I just thought it might be nice for the audience to hear that
I know.
this acts of service thing, like I think on the surface it presents it as like a
Mm-hmm.
superficial, like, oh, he just helps me vacuum. But like to me, the meaningful things you do are stuff that really help our mutual joint life together, and I enjoy doing those things with you. So it is a mixture of acts of service from like a practical, like here's our job and our work perspective, but also we can enjoy that time together that we spend.
That's very sweet. I appreciate you appreciating me.
I appreciate that you appreciate that I
And
appreciate.
I appreciate
this
you
is
too.
the most obnoxious.
All right,
thing.
could we play the game now?
What's the
okay.
game?
Enough love language. Let's hop on over to the non-newlywed game. So I don't even think we're necessarily going to play this properly. Like we don't have whiteboards or a judge, and we don't want to like really delay it that way. Maybe for a few of them, we'll just write on our phones so we can guess what the other person is thinking. But
No
I think
cheating.
we mostly just wanted to use these questions as a way of having the conversation more so. So
Who made these questions up?
I pulled a lot of them from like brides.com.
Oh, good.
All right, first one. Which one of you is a better driver? So, do you want to just
How do we
answer
do
at the
this?
same time? So, 3, 2, 1.
Me.
It's me. No, you? You, me, or me, you?
Me.
Me?
Can I explain?
Oh, go
So,
for it.
although Ben drives most of the time now,
Mm-hmm.
because my car doesn't have winter tires and we only need one car to go anywhere because we rarely go anywhere for the past year. When I drove more often on my own, like to the gym and to work, you used to tell me I was a good driver too.
I think you're very
Yeah,
good. Well,
I'm just driving less frequently now because we take your car with the winter tires.
well, so what's the question? You barely drive these days. You just
Because I don't go
acknowledge.
anywhere. Not because I'm afraid of driving. I love driving. Have driven, had my own car since I was 16. But
So if the question was like, who would be better at a racetrack? I'm
Oh.
probably picking you. But just in terms of day-to-day driving, like I drive like
Yeah.
100 times more than you. So I'm
Yeah.
just more inclined to
because
say
you're
me.
doing acts of service.
You
You're
are a
picking
very
up
good driver,
errands.
though. Yeah.
That's why you're driving.
Taking you to appointments and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you drive a stick, by the way?
No,
No,
I
you
tried
never learned that.
back in the day,
Yeah,
but
didn't like it.
I couldn't practice on customers' cars because that's not a good thing
That's
to
not
do.
a good thing, no.
So yeah, I didn't fully learn.
So I learned to drive in manual. It's kind of a forgotten art. Like I bet young people listening don't even know what we're talking about. You used to have to change your gears with a stick in the middle of your car, and you'd have to you put in the clutch, and you really have to figure out the
Yeah.
timing of when you can release the clutch to put on the gas and change gears and stuff.
I never really mastered it, but I really liked Tiptronic, where the paddle shifters at the top. So it's the same concept, but the computer will still override it if you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you have to be you have to love feeling more engaged with the car and driving to care about manual transmission. It's kind of stupid, honestly. All right. Next one. Who said, I love you first?
T.
I mean, there's a bit of a story here. We
Well, we have
both
to
know the
answer.
answer.
The answer is
Me.
Ben.
Yeah. And I really botched this moment. It's really embarrassing, actually.
Tell us.
I don't want to go.
Well, now you have to tell us.
Yeah, I kind of ruined the moment. We were out somewhere. We had been dating a while. It was a loud venue we were at. I thought it was a very nice romantic night. But we couldn't really hear each other because there was loud music. And I thought I heard you say, I love you. So I looked at you and I'm like, oh man, this is a huge moment. I said, I love you too. And you look at me like, What? I didn't say I love you. And it was a really awkward rest of the night.
Yeah,
Is that how you remember it too?
kind of. But you meant it.
Oh, I totally meant it. Yeah. Although we hadn't been dating a super long time, so I think it did sort of trip you out.
We've been dating long enough that like we went on a trip together.
You're right. We were not. Yeah, we were in New York.
We were in New York. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it was. I actually have no idea.
I think it really threw you for a loop, mostly because it was like, mostly because of my mistake. But I remember you said it back to me the next day.
Later, yeah.
In an airport, which was a very romantic setting.
Oh God. So
there
many
you
germs.
go. That's a new story. I'm sure the other people waiting in the terminal thought we were crazy.
They thought it was a movie. Just tell them we were filming a Hallmark movie.
All right, next one. If your spouse was a character from a movie, who would they be? Character from a movie. Do you have anything?
A banana man?
A banana man?
Or maybe the peanut guy.
Was there a
Mr.
movie
Peanut?
about Mr. Peanut? All right, next question.
Someone once did a photo edit of you as Mr. Peanut Man, and it looked so good.
Okay, I'm skipping that one. Who would you cast to play your partner in a movie? That's a better question. I
Okay.
think I only meant to leave one of those in.
Okay.
Okay, so here's one we should actually play. Do you want to go first? So who would you cast to play me in a movie? I have to guess who you would say.
Well,
Okay? I'm going to write
okay.
it down and see if you have the same answer.
Does it have to be a famous person?
Well, it has to be someone who acts in movies.
I don't know if this person.
What does that mean? Who would you pick that's not an actor? Are you just thinking of someone that looks like me?
Oh, you're gonna change your answer?
No, I've got my answer locked in. Actor.
He's not an actor, but the Simon Sinek guy. He looks like you, the guy who talked about like millennial kids.
Oh, I mean, I was going to guess Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, that's a much better answer.
Someone told me, I think when he did like the Snowden movie, he had like the clear glasses and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe he kind of looked like me.
Yeah, he'd have to eat a few more bananas, I think.
Also, like, are
To
we
get ready
talking
for the
like
role.
Snowden, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Don John, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, 500 Days of Summer, Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Well, not that. Definitely not the last one.
Do you not
That
like
was
that
so
movie?
long ago.
I like that movie.
Okay.
It's a good relationship movie.
I don't remember it.
Do you
I
like?
just remember it was like very old.
I hate like rom-coms in general, or I don't hate them. I just don't care about them. But that movie, I think, holds up.
Do you like him as an actor? Do you think he'd do a good job playing you?
Seems like a cool guy. I don't know if he could really channel my love of hummus and bananas. It might be. You might need a more classically trained actor.
Oh my God.
Really.
Okay, who would play me
Okay, so
other than myself?
you have
who is
to
a child actor?
you have to guess who
Oh.
I would guess. So do you want to? Here, I'm going to write down my answer, and you say who you think I'm going to say. Okay, I've got myself. I'm locked in. I already got it.
Okay, hold on.
And it should be an actress, Christine, not some public speaker.
Okay, I have one.
Okay, my guess is Anne Hathaway.
What?
Yeah, what do you think? She's attractive. She looks strong.
She looks like a princess, and that I
You-
just
you
always see her
are
in princess roles.
You're my princess.
Oh my God. I wrote Evangeline Lilly, the girl from Lost, because
Yeah.
when she was popular, back when Lost was popular, I got nonstop comments about how we looked like sisters.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess I could see it. Yeah, I don't know. Someone out there can comment that we're like way off base. I'm sure there are people who look way more like us,
Yeah.
but I guess we don't sit around thinking about this often.
Yeah, I don't. I just go by like, well, what did someone else say to me in the past?
A
Oh,
movie
that's what
about
I
our
said.
lives would be pretty boring.
No one
I
would
think.
buy it. Straight
Christine
to
just
DVD.
editing.
All right, what else you got?
All right, next one. What was the name of your partner's first pet?
Ooh, I know.
Do you know? Let me hear it.
Your first
Yeah,
pet?
do me.
Zyler.
No,
Yeah.
Menchie.
Zyler came before Menchie. Excuse me. You adopted him.
Well, we got Menchie together, though.
Is Zyler not your pet? Are you saying you don't see him as your son? Zyler.
I love Zyler.
You're gonna hurt his feelings.
I
He's
love
probably out there.
every morning. I hang out with Zyler. This is
I
kind of
know.
our new morning
So
routine.
how
now.
could you forget him?
I drink coffee, and he's freaking out until he gets to sit on top of me while I drink coffee. It's pretty amazing.
Both of our cats freak out until they can sit on Ben. It's so weird.
I guess the main point here is I didn't have pets growing up. So until we had cats together, I didn't have a pet.
But you adopted Zyler.
I did. Yes, Zyler is my adopted son.
Okay, who was my first pet?
So I think the answer is Mango?
No.
No? Okay, Cristine had a cat named Mango growing up, though,
Yes,
right? An orange cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before
You had a pet before that?
Before I had the cat, I had another type of animal.
Okay, no, I know this. You had a rabbit
Yeah.
named T-Bar.
Yeah,
which is rabbit spelled backwards.
Yeah. Genius.
I'm sorry. I didn't know if the rabbit or the cat came first.
The rabbit came first. I was younger because my parents told us it was the Easter Bunny. But I was still old enough to know that was bullshit. But yeah.
Did you ever have a dog growing up? Or you were
No.
a cat household, eh? Yeah.
Just
Or
the one
cats
cat.
and rabbits.
Just Mango and then just the one rabbit.
And I guess like you just didn't want to take Mango with you for university, so he
Yeah.
stayed with your family, right?
Yeah. Because he was already settled in his home, and when I moved to university, I moved into a residence. You can't even take animals there, and after that, it was just too wild. So instead, I got Zyler, and he lived with the wild parties instead. But at least he was raised that way.
Yeah, it screwed him up permanently.
No, he's good.
All right, next one. What is your partner's best feature?
Oh my God.
You already went on a long speech about how much you appreciate me, so
But that's not a feature.
my feature is being subservient to you.
Is this supposed to be like a physical attribute question?
Do you want to look at it that way? What's my best physical feature, Christine?
Okay, let's do that. That's funnier.
Your best feature is your work ethic, for sure.
That's not a physical attribute.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm not trying to reduce you, objectify you.
Okay.
Like, you have a great butt. You just want me to say that?
Okay, no, but we're not playing this correctly. We have to say what we think the other person would say.
Okay.
So I think,
That I would think you have a great butt.
yes, but I was going to say more specifically
Okay.
my lower back.
That's very specific.
You always comment on it.
It is
It's
true.
weird.
You want to share? Okay, so
I'm not going to show.
Well, Christine is strong, and there's a very pronounced line in between, like in your back.
It's in between the spinal erectors, like on the side of your. Anyway, whatever. Who cares? That's what I think Ben would have said. So that's not the answer. The answer is my butt. Really?
Well, I guess it's all part of the same package.
All right. Okay. What do you think I would say about you?
My eyebrows.
No. What are you, a beauty guru?
I've been told I have really nice eyebrows.
By who?
A lot of people. A lot of people like my eyebrows.
What did someone comment that?
I don't know. What's my calves?
You do really have nice calves and quads. I'm jealous.
Okay.
I think like your beard.
Oh.
Yeah. Your quarantine beard. It's actually it's good.
So do you
Looks
like
good.
it when it's? You don't like the full crazy
No,
beard,
not like Mountain Man.
but somewhere in between the 5 o'clock shadow and actually having some meaningful facial
Like
hair.
it's definitely been a while since you shaved.
Yeah.
But like
But you're okay
you
with
also
that.
don't live in a bush, you know? Somewhere in the middle.
I don't live in the mountains. Okay, that's nice. Moving on. What is the first movie you saw together?
Movie.
I
I remember the first TV show.
say it at the same time.
Breaking
Amish. Yeah. One of our first dates was just watching the like trash TLC shows.
Such a good show.
But
R.I.P.
I remember movie though. I vividly remember inviting you over. I think it was like New Year's because we started dating.
Oh, it was one of those weird movies.
That's good. We had only been dating for like a month or two at the time, and we spent New Year's together and we watched a movie. It was a
Yes.
documentary. Do you remember which one it was?
It was a documentary.
It
Like we
was.
watched a few early movies, and they were always a little like weird, like David Lynch or something.
That's right. I was trying to impress you,
trying to
by
impress
like,
me, but I was just
let's
like-
watch Eraserhead. Isn't it artsy?
And I was like,
Like,
I don't
what
know,
is
man.
this?
Let's watch Breaking Amish.
Okay, so the answer is there's a documentary about a Formula One race car driver.
Oh, Senna.
Senna.
Yeah.
Really well done, even if you don't care about
racing.
driving or racing or anything, because it's the same people. They did a documentary. I think it's the same people did the Winehouse documentary on Amy Winehouse. Really sad story. Like everyone's talking about like the Britney Spears stuff now. There's a lot of female celebrities that just got completely destroyed by our culture. But anyway, that Senna documentary I thought was excellent. Recommendation for anyone who may be into that.
Happy
Basically,
Valentine's Day.
he's considered one of the best Formula One drivers of all time, especially in the rain. All right, if your partner could only eat one food for the rest of their life, what would it be? This is just
let's
a
answer
gimme for you.
for Ben first at the same time. Ready?
You know the answer.
3, 2, 1. Hummus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's harder for you because you have the things you love and eat all the time, but it's a mix of things. So I'm having trouble reducing it to like one food group.
Yeah.
Like I can't answer garbage bowl
Well, why not?
or like just
That'd be
vegetables.
the healthiest, smartest decision.
That's cheating. Like I want to say like
Which, yeah.
like spinach and or tea, if tea applies to this.
Well, let's say tea's not a food.
Okay, then it's spinach. You when I go to the grocery store for you, I come back with tubs full of spinach. It's crazy how much spinach you eat. You're like Popeye over there. Is that the secret to your lifting? What, like, why you put it in smoothies, eh? So I guess that's how a lot of it gets used.
Yeah. And when you put spinach in a smoothie, you don't even taste it. Like, right? I trick you into just eating spinach all
like
the time.
I like your spinach. That's the only way I'll eat green vegetables.
But I
basically.
always just throw a giant bed of spinach in a bowl, and then I put like food on top, like real food on top of it, and mix it all together, and it's just a wonderful, giant, filling meal.
Yeah, but you basically have spinach at like every meal. So do you think
Well,
that's the
not
good
breakfast.
answer?
You forgot one other key food group.
What did I miss?
Oats. Like the only breakfast I've eaten legitimately in the past 4 years, I think, is oats.
Oats every day.
Occasionally, maybe we go out for breakfast and they don't sell oats, so I'd have to order like eggs or something. But like, I just love oats, and sometimes I'll eat oats at night for an oat snack.
Sometimes if it's late at night, can't sleep, I'll go downstairs to the fridge, just eat some
Sneak
oats.
some oats, and that's why you get off our oat schedule, because he'll finish them earlier, and then I have to make, and you just throw it all off.
I'm sorry for ruining our oat schedule, dear.
Come on, Ben.
What was the best present your partner ever gave you?
We don't care about gift giving.
That's the thing. Gift giving is so low for us. But there is a gift you got me that I use all the time that I appreciate very much. Do you know what it is?
A computer? I don't know.
I think that was a business expense. You got me the espresso machine
Oh yeah, I
as
did.
a gift for my birthday. Like
when we first moved
when we
into
moved
this
in.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we actually had counter space to put it on, because we did not in the condo.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, not sponsored. It's a Breville Oracle.
It was really
I think
expensive.
yeah,
so I'm
it
glad
wasn't
you like
cheap.
it.
Yeah,
You're
that was-
still using
That's probably the most expensive
Yeah,
thing you've
I
ever
know.
bought me, too. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And it was not a business expense.
It was a very thoughtful gift. And it wasn't like the cost or the gift at all. It was just, it was very thoughtful.
and
of you.
practical, because you actually use it every day for
And
the
it's
last like 3 years.
Very like you to give a practical gift.
Yeah, no, that is a good job, me.
I don't think I have something as good. Like, my gift giving to you is the accumulation of years of bringing you little things more
Which
so
I much
than...
prefer, because I don't need anything big. Like, although you have bought me a nice purse once, but I didn't ask you. Actually, I specifically asked you not to buy me a nice purse, and you
Yeah.
got me one anyways.
You didn't. You liked it, though.
I liked it.
Because
but
you're the type of... You're not going to...
I wasn't going to buy it for myself.
People know this about you. Yeah. Like, I think a really good gift is something someone actually wants but isn't going to buy themselves, especially if that person has the means to just buy themselves whatever, right?
Well, I'll tell the story. So I got my aunt, who had just helped us out a lot in the past, like a nice purse that she wanted. It was a Burberry purse, and I got it exactly in the color she wanted. And she really does love this kind of stuff. So I got one for her, and in the process of buying it, like I was, I guess, saying like, wow, this is actually so nice. I love the blue one, but like... And Ben's like, just buy it. Like, you can afford it. And I'm just like, no, like, I don't actually want a purse that's that much and carrying it around. Like, I don't need it. I have a $300 Coach purse from 6 years ago. It's fine. Or a Michael Kors purse.
Yeah.
But so I got it for my aunt. We wrapped it up and gave it to her. And then like a month or two later,
I just went back and got
you went back
the one,
and you got the blue one, the same one.
Yeah.
Even though I had told you like, no, I don't want it.
And we had a long conversation where you were trying to convince me to take it back. Do
Yeah.
you remember that? Even though you liked it, you were just like, I don't need a purse. That's like you're the opposite. Like, you're not carrying Gucci. And like I'm not judging people who do want to carry nice purses around. Like, people can spend their money on whatever they want to, right?
I just didn't want to spend my money on that.
You are not the type of person to spend a bunch of money on Cartier bracelets or $10,000 purses or anything like that. Like, that just kind of seems too impractical for Simply.
But that was an example of you gift giving something that I said I liked, even though like I would never have bought it for myself and didn't care that much. I still very appreciated that, like the thought behind it, that you wanted to do it for me, even though you knew I wouldn't do it for myself. So I did end up wearing that purse for like a good year or two.
Yeah. Are you still, I mean, if you
I
were
still
leaving the
have
house,
it.
you would still be using that purse.
I still have, well, no, then I got back problems and couldn't wear a purse anymore. So then I switched to a
That's
backpack. Well, no, because I used
Christine's going to school with a
I-
backpack.
I walked before quarantine. I walked to the office to work every day, and it takes like, more than half an hour to get there. So if you're wearing a crossbody purse that goes across your body and all the weight's on one side, it's not good on your shoulders. So as I was now 30 years plus, doctors told me maybe stop wearing a crossbody purse. So I had to get a backpack.
Is that a widely known? I wonder how many women are just like wrecking their posture by carrying heavy purses.
I mean, I think it depends. There's some crossbody purses that are very small and they're just designed to throw in like a coin purse and a phone, and that's probably not going to mess up your back. Yeah. But the purse you had gotten me was like a bigger purse where you have more things in there, and just the structure of it was heavier by design.
It's really a mystery to men what women carry around in those purses, eh?
Yeah, just buy a backpack. That's my advice.
What do you need a back? Walk around.
My lunch when I took to work, like I had things, my laptop.
I think it's also because like a lot of women's pants don't have pockets, right? So a lot of things guys are used to just putting in their pants pockets. Women have to put in a bag. Yeah.
Yeah, it's annoying.
The patriarchy.
Sexist.
All right, next one. What is the first thing your spouse would buy if they won the lottery?
Great question.
What would Christine buy? I think she would buy an Audi R8 sports car full of tea.
You're totally wrong.
What? Why? No? What would you buy?
What have I done with my money so far?
Invest it?
Yeah. I'd buy like an investment account.
Christine would buy index funds. Would you buy cryptocurrency, Christine?
No.
Did you listen to you listened to the podcast with me and Matt, eh?
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah? Did it make you any more interested in investing?
It makes me want to listen to my financial advisor.
I'm glad that I don't do it anymore. Okay, yeah. I mean, like, in a way, this experiment has happened. We have been very fortunate with internet success. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we haven't just thrown money at dumb things.
That's why I also think there isn't something ridiculous that you would have bought either. Like if you win a few $1 million in the lottery, is it really going to change anything? Like, would that make you go crazy and buy?
If I try to ignore the YouTube money aspect of it and just pretend we were living our old lives, working 9 to 5.
You buy a hummus factory?
A hummus factory. I would open a hummus business. I would just say like putting a lot of money into
properties.
Yeah, property. I think like just the fact that we bought this house, in
Vermont specifically.
I'd love
Ben loves properties in Vermont. He's always looking at them. And I'm like, Ben, we're not going anywhere. So
I spent a lot of time just dreaming or looking at like plots of land or properties in other places.
Just for the land? You just like the bushes?
Well, I don't know about the stock market these days. You know, it's been on a bit of a rocket ship. I don't know how long that ride lasts. So to have your money in other assets and tangible things like property is a good idea. That's my excuse. But really, I just enjoy looking and sort of fantasizing
Just
about
the idea of vacation spots.
That's right. Yeah, it all comes down to vacation.
Ben would buy a vacation. Except we can't go anywhere. We're not allowed. So even if we won the lottery,
don't remind me.
your vacation is here with me. Quality
Couldn't we just
time.
get the PJ though?
The PJs?
The private jet?
No, Ben. You'll be going alone.
Next one. If your house caught fire, what one thing would your spouse grab before leaving?
Well, this is easy.
Yeah, Menchie.
Ben!
Is she still here? No, she left. It said one thing. She's younger. Zyler's lived more of a full life.
Children
Can you just say
equals
both?
both.
Usually people leave family members
Okay.
and pets.
I
out
have a
of
better
this.
one.
Okay.
Cat treats. So that way they'll both follow us. Just shake it. Smart.
That's brilliant.
You gotta be practical.
You're playing 4D chess over there. I love
Okay,
that answer.
how about if it weren't for our children or
Yeah.
each other, like we're both out of the house?
Yeah, take us and the pets out of it.
Okay, so I have I think my answer is obvious.
Is it nail polish or your computer?
My computer.
Your computer.
Because
Okay.
the nail polish, I could just get more of the same stuff.
Okay, yeah.
My computer has a lot of files and work that I've done.
Yeah.
That's like the raw copy, like the hard drives, and so much work, years of work and ideas there that I wouldn't be able to get easily again.
Yeah, good point. I would
Yeah.
take my passport so I could still go on vacation.
Oh God.
Especially if we had nowhere to live.
Like
We'd
you
have
could get
to go
a new
to Bali or
passport, but you
something.
could get a new passport. I couldn't get my files.
I'm kidding. Yeah, and you would just let your polish and oats burn.
Well, I could get more polish and oats. I know someone. I know
Yeah,
some people
you
at
know
Holo
some people.
Taco and Oats Overnight. I'm sure I could get some new stash.
All right, next one. If your partner could change places with a famous person, who would they choose to be?
No one, because I don't. Anyone who's not famous.
This is really hard to answer for you
Yeah.
because you don't like the fame part of being famous.
So, what's the least famous person who is still famous?
Yeah, who's someone who's famous but you don't think of and like paparazzi isn't following them
Yeah,
around?
that's what I want.
Actually, you know what? I got another angle on this. Maybe if you could change bodies with like a fitness influencer who doesn't have knee and back problems. Would you like to see what it's like to be in a body that doesn't
Yeah.
have joint issues?
Okay, I have a good answer for that.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even know her name. I just know her handle. Her name is like Miss Sweendog.
Ms. Sweendog?
Sweendog. Yeah.
Is that her OnlyFans?
Sweeney, I think,
or-
is her last name. No, she's an Instagram fitness person, but she's like really heavy into weightlifting and training
Okay.
rather than just like modeling.
Gotcha. Okay.
But she is incredible, the strength, and like she does all the lifts, like everything.
So you'd like to know what
Totally,
it's
yeah.
like to be able to like
Just
squat
like
like
conquer the
400
world.
pounds
Yeah,
or something
basically.
crazy.
Yeah.
That would be fun to know. Yeah.
She benches her body weight at least. She
Cool.
does like 10 pull-ups in a row. Amazing.
All right.
Okay, what about you?
I would want to be Jeff Bezos and I would just start
What?
paying my employees more money.
Oh.
So is that a good answer?
I mean, I wonder, this is a really good like ethical test.
Oh.
That if you actually got the opportunity to be zapped into the body of Jeff Bezos, what decisions would you make? Because you'd think like, well, we're all, the rest of us are down here on Earth. You'd think like, oh, well, I'd, become him and then redistribute wealth and save the world. But if you are finally in that position and then you start to realize like all the advantages maybe it has and you start to feel like a little bit of greed, will that change you?
Oh yeah, it's very easy to say if you were in this person's position, you
Right.
would do
You'd
all
do
these
things differently.
altruistic things. But yeah, would you? You know what's a sort of interesting framing on this I think about for some reason is like if you think of the dynamics of high school, the popular kids bullying the quote unquote losers, less popular people. I just think that like that's an example of power corrupting people more than anything specific about those types of people. Because I think if all of a sudden all the losers had all the social capital and power dynamic in that situation was reversed, I think those people would be just as likely to be mean to the other kids in the same way. And you kind of like see this expressed in a real way where a lot of like the tech bros in Silicon Valley, who I'm sure were like the least popular people they went to when they were like in grade school or high school, a lot of those guys turn out to be like real jerks, especially to women. And you can ask like any reporter or people or women who work in tech, and you'll basically hear that reinforced, right? So just people with a lot of power and money. A lot of people are shitty. I guess that's the moral of the story.
And that's the human spirit or something, as they say, that like at our nature, people will take those actions. So it's one thing to say like, oh, I'm a great person, I would never do that. But you're also not in the position of power where you have the opportunity to do that. And it's impossible to say what you would do despite the fact that you think that you're a good person. I'm just trying to be realistic about this.
I would like to think that if I had that sort of, it's like incomprehensible the amount of money like Bezos and
I've
Elon
seen it.
Musk
There was
have,
a TikTok on with a bunch of rice.
Yeah.
And it showed like how much he has in rice. If you were to look at his fortune, like every rice represented $1 billion. And then they showed that versus like the average American or something.
Yeah, it's like looking at like the size of the sun next to like an asteroid, you know, like it's it's orders of magnitude higher. I would like to think if I was in that position, I would be like, my employees probably shouldn't need to be on food stamps to like survive. I would like to think that, but I think you also, if you get to that point, and not many people do, I think you just lose all perspective on money.
I mean, that's not always true. Like, there's people like Bill Gates, who's a billionaire too, who's done a lot with his money for charity, at least from what I've seen. I'm not like an expert on his history, but it's clear to me that he has like a foundation and all these things for the main purposes of kind of redistributing his wealth. That's not to say that he isn't still disgustingly rich personally, but there are examples of people who are super rich that are realizing they don't need all that money.
All right, this is supposed to be the love podcast, not the money podcast.
Yeah. How did we get here?
It was quite a
famous
tangent.
people. We don't want to be them.
All right, moving on. If your partner could be any animal, what animal would they choose to be? This is an easy. Cristine, you often talk about just wanting to be a cat. This comes up in conversation quite often.
Yeah.
What is it about?
I literally sometimes I'll look at Menchie and I'll just shove my face into hers and be like, I want to be you.
Because she's so beautiful.
Yeah, I aspire to her. She's goals. No, but like just everything is so simple and so sweet.
Yeah.
And
you look like you're about to start crying. Are you okay?
I'm good. I realize I'm also wearing cat ears, and I wear them all the time.
Yeah, it was an easy answer.
People ask me sometimes, like, why do you wear cat ears so much? And it's not only because I want to be a cat, but it's also because my hair gets kind of frizzy, and so it keeps the hair. It's a headband.
You don't have to explain yourself, sweetie.
Sometimes I feel like I do. Okay, so what animal? For you, it's trickier. For me, that was a given. Yeah.
What are you gonna pick one you think I look like? Or, I mean, my favorite, like you.
Well, I know your favorite animal, but I don't know if you'd want to be that animal.
I mean, you should just say it.
Well, we know you like monkeys because...
Growing up, I was obsessed with monkeys.
Copyright, Abu.
Yeah, the Abu from Aladdin was like my favorite Disney character.
Why do you like monkeys so much?
I don't know, but I had
because of bananas.
I had like this Jane Goodall book. And I guess I'd seen clips of like her rehabilitating gorillas, and I just thought that was amazing.
Were you fascinated because they are some of the most intelligent creatures and are like closest to humans?
Yeah, maybe I just want to pick the next smartest animal. That could be it. Also, the great upper body strength. Swinging around looks like a lot of fun.
Could totally bench its body weight. In monkeys.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's ethically like terrible to do, but when I was a child, I was like, I loved the idea of having a pet monkey.
That never happened, right?
No, and you shouldn't, and that is awful and not, Also, the chimps are like crazy strong. They'll like rip your fingers and your other parts of your body off your body if they just decide to. People who have had
Wow.
monkeys as pets often find out why that's not a good idea.
Yeah. So do you want to be a monkey?
I would, if I could guarantee I would be like safe, I would love to be in the head of a monkey for like 24 hours. I would like groom you, swing around, eat bananas. It'd be great. Have you seen, there's a really good documentary called Project Nim.
Yeah, we watched it together.
We watched that together
Yeah.
too, right?
that was
About
good.
Nim Chimpsky, one of the famous
Instead of
chimpanzees instead of Noam Chomsky. Yeah, because Noam Chomsky's a lot of his original work was about linguistics and like how it's somewhat inherent, the learning. Anyway, I don't want to get. But like they were trying to figure out if they could teach a chimpanzee sign language, and eventually, I mean, spoiler alert. The chimp didn't really learn sign language as much as he realized that certain cues and movements resulted in him getting a reward from the researchers. But I think the more poignant thing about the movie is just they really turned this chimpanzee, a living creature, into like an experiment in a way. And like, where's the sort of humanity in how you treat these animals that have so much social intelligence? Yeah.
Well, speaking of social intelligence,
I don't know how much intelligence we have going on in Menchie's little head over here.
Menchie, I want to be you.
You know, chimps also really like cats.
Like friendly.
There's lots of clips of, well, I think they get too aggressive sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a problem, but they tend to like showing affection to animals like cats the same way people do, I think.
Do they say they want to be them?
All right,
what's the
enough
next
on
question?
monkeys. Who is your partner's celebrity crush? I've got an answer.
I don't know.
Who do you think my celebrity crush is? Who do you think I think looks like you?
Well, that's a trick question. I actually don't
trick
know who
question.
your celebrity crush is.
All right, I'm just going to say it.
Okay, who?
Caitlin Collins, CNN anchor,
Oh,
White House correspondent, great dresser,
yeah.
asks the tough, smart questions, good cheekbones. I think she looks like you.
It's funny because I took a picture of her on the news, not because of her, but just because of the headline or something, and on Snapchat, and then everyone commented, like, I thought that was you. But it's like me if I looked presentable and straightened my hair and cut my hair and, like, dressed nicely.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Caitlin Collins. There you go. Are you okay with that?
That's
I
fine.
hope that doesn't hurt your feelings.
No,
Who's your celebrity crush?
I don't know. I don't, like, have crushes.
Who are like hot male celebrities right now?
Growing up, it was always, like, Ryan Gosling, I guess.
Was it? Because for a while, it like, I noticed when we were teenagers, it seemed to swing in the direction of kind of like skinny jean type, like wimpier boys.
Yeah, I never...
Sorry, I'm not trying to be judgmental, but it used to be like the hunky guy. In the 90s, it was like
Yeah.
guys with unrealistically giant muscles. And then somehow it swung towards like Edward Cullen, who looks like
Yeah,
he's
good point.
anemic and could barely like get himself out of bed in the morning. But that's mostly because he just was a vampire, I guess. But you know what I mean? It
didn't
totally
have
swung
blood then.
towards like the like tiny guys for a while. I don't know where it is right now.
I don't know either.
Someone
but
tell me who hot
I don't-
guys are
I don't really think about it like that.
Yeah.
I don't really have a celebrity crush today. But like a long time ago, I might have said like Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good answer.
because The Notebook. He's also Canadian.
Do you want to watch The Notebook tonight?
No,
No. You can't
I've
handle
seen-
it.
I know.
You don't need to
I
see
don't
that
need
again.
it. I'm good. It was a classic, but it's done.
Okay. What is the biggest way your partner wastes money? We've already sort of established we're not
We
like
don't
throwing
really
money
waste
away.
money, but if we had to say, like, if there's something we do buy in excess, even if it's not that expensive, let's say,
Okay.
what would you think I spend too
I
much
don't have
on?
an exciting answer here. I think we buy a lot of food and we don't worry about how much it costs. That's
Yeah.
one of the only ways I think
We could do better.
well, I'm not do better, but like if there's any way in which we benefit from having a lot of money or are a little frivolous in our expenses, it's that we don't worry about like just ordering nice meals and stuff all the time or getting, fancy groceries.
Yeah. But that's not a waste. Is that a waste of money? I mean, I guess
Well,
it is.
we eat the food, so I guess it's not a waste. But
could we have, purchased the same oats or something at a cheaper value from a lesser known brand? Like,
sure.
yes.
But I want only the best oats for you.
Sure. Okay, so food. I guess that's an answer. It's just not an exciting one. And I think a lot of people can relate because there's so many people out there who are choosing to get takeout. And of course, when you're buying takeout, most of the time, if you add that up, you could have saved so much money buying
By making your own.
somewhat equivalent and like making it yourself, because you can buy in bulk yourself when you're buying the ingredients to make dinners.
I just tell myself we're supporting local restaurants. That's my
Yeah, no, and that's a great reason, I think, to do takeout from local restaurants rather than chains as much. Although there's still employees of chains restaurants who business is needed for them to continue to exist. But we have been choosing to support local Ottawa restaurants.
Do we waste money on the cats too? Buying the Menchie 17 different cat beds?
It's not a waste. Frenchie, is that a waste? She sleeps in every single one of them. I think I waste some money on... I used to buy a lot of makeup from Sephora. Okay. Like, I'd always buy the newest makeup palette when something came out. And I would end up really loving one or two shades in that palette because it was something, like, I didn't have in my collection. But I would have paid $50 for a palette for like two shades that I really cared about. And that's kind of a waste. And that adds up over time when there's so many new releases and then you're just like, I have to get this one. And in some ways, my ongoing allergy issues have been good for me not wasting more money on makeup because now I just can't buy makeup.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a waste if it's something you enjoy, right?
Yeah, but some of the products I was buying were definitely going to waste because I wasn't getting my money's worth out of them. So that's all. But yeah, other than that, I guess we don't have good answers here.
Okay, should have skipped this question. All right. Last one.
Ooh, it's a spicy
do
one.
your partner's sexiest pajamas look like? Menchie, cover your ears.
Menchie, cover your eyes.
Cover your ears, Menchie. I know. The answer for you are your cat pajamas.
Yeah,
right?
baby. Oh,
so sexy.
So I'll tell you the story. I actually think there's a clip of me on YouTube in the cat pajamas.
Totally.
From when we lived at the condo. That's what's in my
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
So my grandmother, when I was like, I don't know, 15 years old.
Every sexy story starts with the
my grandmother. One of them bought me cat pajamas that is like this giant oversized t-shirt, but it also goes all the way past your knees.
It's like a moo-moo.
It's like
or like, I don't even know what you call that.
It's just so big, like for a young girl. And my sister got one too, but hers were dogs at the time. And I've kept those pajamas since I was 16. Like those pajamas are almost 20 years old.
They're kind of amazing. We'll just insert footage of them here.
They're so good.
Yeah. Like we're not, I wore pajamas a while. You sort of tricked me into wearing pajamas. Because when you wanted to paint my nails in my sleep, I guess you wanted me to not be naked on camera.
Yeah, that
so
was
you
the
like
point.
You had bought me pajamas as a gift, and you're like, wear these pajamas. But yeah, I usually don't sleep in PJs.
Ben sleeps naked. That's what he's saying. You've just been exposed. I sleep in giant t-shirts. Often the cat's pajamas. Whatever t-shirt, a giant t-shirt. Yeah.
Maybe I should acknowledge. I know. Anytime we do a relationship podcast or say we're going to talk about stuff like this, there's always a few people that ask questions about like intimacy and romantic stuff. And like we share a lot of aspects of our life with the internet. That's just like one topic that I think we just don't want to go there.
I also don't know why so many people are so interested in like the details of others.
I mean, if you look up to I don't know. I'm sure there's reasons for it. And I guess I do at least want to add though, like it's when you see people talk about, like, sex in a positive way, I think that could be a good influence on a young audience. Like, I know I kind of goof on her, but like Laura DIY has a podcast now where she talks about dating and things like that. And I think a lot of her audience that has grown up with her, that was just used to her being like glitter craftopia girl, to see just a young woman talk about like dating and, you know, romance and things like that in like a sex positive way, I think that's pretty cool too.
I think I don't know how to talk about that because I'm 32 and I've been with you for 8 years. So like, would I talk about dating from 10 years ago? Like, my experience is just gone. I don't remember. And you wouldn't want me to talk about it.
Oh, well.
Oh.
I think it's important to keep some things for yourself.
Yeah.
All right. Apologies to Alicia Marie. We were supposed to have her on the podcast today, but we ran out of time and we were too basic. So, was it so extra or so basic?
Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I generally don't like to make relationship-based content a lot. I think we've definitely avoided doing that on the Simply channel when we could have used that much more as a hook. Because people do like to use like my relationship or are we getting engaged? ?
Yeah.
Proposal.
We know on the podcasts where there's like any bit of that angle, the views are always more than the other ones.
It's true, but like we're not using clickbait in a way that is completely unrealistic.
Yeah, we actually talk about it.
Like we actually talk about it and it is a question that someone asked or whatever it is.
But just like any YouTube relationship couple, I think it's important to sort of set those boundaries about what you do and don't want to share with the internet.
Yeah, good
and we
point.
just know what some of those things are for us, and that's why you don't hear us talking about them. But I think people who don't do that run the risk of, you know, all of a sudden, I don't know, like I'm thinking like prank channels and BFGF and stuff where like the relationship almost becomes secondary to them making content like pranking each other.
And you can violate the integrity of the relationship by choosing to do that. It's kind of like a violation of trust in a way, even if you maybe agreed because you're making money off of it.
Yeah.
I just think it's probably not the healthiest thing.
All right. See you next Taco Tuesday.
Happy Valentine's Day week.
Yeah, I hope you have some love in your life. If not for someone else, just for yourself.
And just paint your nails. You know, like, fuck boys, paint your nails. All right, everyone.
All right, thanks for tuning in.
We'll see y'all later. Bye.